Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for another top 10 Ninjago video. In this video, I'm sharing my thoughts on the 10 most powerful Ninjago characters. Keep in mind that these are my opinions based on fact and logic from the show, and that chances are you will not agree with all of my choices. So please do keep that in mind. So also, another thing to mention, in this video the characters will be based on the most powerful versions we see of themselves in the show, such as Nadakhan having his infinite wishes, or stuff like that, and will not include characters like Chen who have all of their powers in a single weapon. So yeah, sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Skylor is the elemental master of Amber, and has the ability to absorb and use other people's powers, which is exactly what she does in Season 4. She absorbs all the elemental powers from the tournament, and those powers are then used to complete the spell. This in itself makes her super powerful. An elemental master on his or her own is already very powerful with their elements, but imagine one person having all of them. That's pretty crazy. She's also able to absorb more powerful elements like destruction from Garmadon, which she uses to control the Colossus for some time. However, the reason why she isn't higher up on this list is because she doesn't really have any control over those powers. When she uses destruction, she passes out due to the insane level of power. However, just having the ability to absorb this many elements and doing so is a pretty big feat, and that is definitely pretty powerful. The Hands of Time, Acronyx, and Crux will take 9th place on this list. They're actually weaker when we see them in the present than they were before. In the old days, they were able to actually control the elements of time without having to use the time blades, and they were stripped of their powers during the fight with Wu and Garmadon. And time is a really powerful element. Acronyx is able to go forward in future and take his enemy by surprise, and he is also able to slow them down too. Whereas with Crux he can never really lose, as he was able to go back in time to replay the fight, and he was also able to pause their enemy and freeze them in time for a brief period. So I think that in itself is really powerful. Nobody else is able to do stuff like this, and I think just messing with time in this way, replaying situations, and even bringing your enemy to a complete stop is really powerful. The new Season 11 villain Aspheera will take 8th place on this list. It's important to note though that fire is not her natural element, and that she got that from stealing the power from Kai. Other than that, she doesn't really have any elements. However, she is a very skilled sorceress, and learned sorcery back in the days when she was training to serve the king. And as such, she is able to do stuff like bend steel, and is also able to awaken other pyro vipers from a deep slumber too. She is able to make the pyramid explode and erupt in lava, and she sends clutch powers hurtling across Ninjago on a meteor. She also has the Staff of Plot Convenience, which allows her to banish people to the Neverrealm, which is pretty crazy, although since Pixel also uses this to banish the ninja to the Neverrealm in episode 15, I'm not so sure if this is her individual power, or if it's just something anyone can do. But either way, Aspheera is a very skilled sorceress, and combined with her use of Spinjitzu too, she is definitely very skilled at Spinjitzu and fighting in general, making her a very powerful character. Whether Firstbourne should be on this list is up to you. I personally think that she does qualify as a character, and therefore she is in 7th place. Things like the Great Devourer and Preeminent are not on this list due to them not really being characters. However, I would consider Firstbourne to be a character, as she is mainly a protagonist and has more of a soul rather than those other mindless creatures. But anyways, Firstbourne is super powerful as she is able to control every element of her beloved spawn, presumably meaning every element that the dragons are able to use. She's also very big, has claws, and is able to fly too, making her not only a powerful opponent but a fast one at that too. She wipes out Iron Baron with literally only one move by breathing fire on him until he turns into a molten statue. And she also forged the dragon armor alongside the first Spinjitzu master. Just the fact that the dragon bone blade is made from her own bone and able to absorb elements gives you a feel of how powerful physically that she is too. And the reason she isn't higher up on this list is that some characters do manage to defeat her at times, such as the Oni, which we'll be talking about next, and Garmadon, who was resistant to the same blow that pretty much wiped out Iron Baron. Speaking of the Oni, the Omega will take 6th place on this list. He controls destruction, but he also has some other Oni-specific powers that he uses too, such as the Oni Tentacles, which if they touch a normal person, it'll turn them to stone, or with other Oni like Lloyd and Garmadon, it'll just wrap around them. He also uses his staff to summon other Oni to his location. In episode 97, he bangs his staff against the ground and summons an entire army of Oni, which is super powerful. He's the only known character who can resist the effects of the Sword of Sanctuary, which is pretty powerful too. And on top of that, the Oni are also able to travel to other realms without the use of the Realm Crystal, as seen when they are invading the First Realm in the flashback. Despite the Oni and the dragons being matched in power, Omega and the Oni are very easily able to conquer the First Realm and defeat the dragons during the flashback. And on top of that, one weakness that he has, however, is that he is weak to the golden armor and the golden weapons and forms of creation too, which ultimately leads to his demise when the tornado of creation happens. I was wondering if Garmadon should be above or below the Omega, and in the end I decided that he is just a bit more powerful than the Omega, and I'm mainly talking about when he's at his peak, which is during Season 8 to Season 10. And he is able to just do more with this power than I think the Omega and the Oni are. For example, he's able to summon blades out of thin air, he's able to create the Colossus, a gigantic stone monster which destroys much of Ninjago City. And then on top of that, he's also able to destroy the top of Borg Tower and is completely resistant to the Firstbourne's attack in episode 94. He rips Mr. E into pieces without even touching him, force chokes Harumi, kills Miss Dake, and on top of that, even when he is without his powers in episode 96, he uses simply a sword to catch the ninja off guard, defeat them, and gain his powers back. He also holds up his own against Omega throughout episode 96 and 97 before the rest of the Oni come. Although he does lose to Omega in episode 98, I would say the main cause for that is because Omega was playing with his emotions and talking about how he is turning back to the good side, so I wouldn't really count that fight. For these reasons, I do think Garmadon is more powerful than Omega. Talking about other stuff that he's done, he is the only character able to hold all 4 golden weapons too, and he was able to wield the Mega Weapon for a period of time as well. Nadakhan is a big step up from Garmadon and the other characters, especially with his infinite wishes. With those wishes, he is able to pretty much do anything. He doesn't have to play by any rules, he can wish for harm, death upon someone, even love, but even without those infinite wishes, he is still really powerful. Without them, he can still shapeshift, he can teleport around, which makes it really hard for someone to land a blow during a fight. It's pretty much impossible, since he'll always be teleporting around. He also has 4 arms, which means he technically could, although he doesn't, wield multiple weapons during a fight. But that being said, he doesn't even need to fight, considering he can always just teleport around. He's also able to use the power held within the Sword of Souls to literally tear Ninjago apart and lift pieces up into the sky. The Overlord is the ultimate evil of Ninjago, and we see him using many different powers throughout the show. I said earlier that Garmadon is the only one who can wield all 4 weapons, but the Overlord is able to do so too, as he is able to wield the golden armor, which is all 4 weapons combined. He is also a spirit, and as being part of the balance, is immortal, so anytime his body is destroyed, he is still technically alive in spirit form, which happens in Seasons 2 and Season 3. This also allows him to possess other beings, like Garmadon, and when he is possessing these beings, he has crazy powers too, and is able, in episode 25, to use some sort of destruction darkness power on Lloyd, and manages to break Lloyd's leg, and almost comes close to killing him, if not for Dr. Julian interfering. On top of that, as a dragon form, he is literally able to breathe out dark matter to turn people evil. In the Titanium Ninja, while in his Golden Master form, he is able to raise buildings out of the ground to turn the city into a fortress. He can also do giant Spinjitzu too, and even while stuck in the Digiverse, he has a strong influence, such as in episode 27, when he uses technology to pretty much turn Cyrus Borg evil. And even though the Overlord has been defeated many times, he is still technically alive, which shows how powerful and how strong of a character he is. At his peak, Lloyd was the Golden Ninja and able to use his grandfather's golden powers, and that was in Seasons 2 and 3. Obviously, since then, he has been significantly nerfed, and cannot use those golden powers anymore. If we had not seen a version of Lloyd where he uses golden powers, he wouldn't really be on this list at all. However, though, this list is based on, of course, the most powerful versions of each character, and so the Golden Ninja Lloyd will be on this list. Lloyd was able to very quickly defeat the Overlord, something that the first Spinjitzu Master took a long time to do. And with his golden powers in Season 3, he was able to physically move mountains and carve steps, as well as creating bridges too out of the Golden Dragon. Golden power is essentially the most powerful power or element in Ninjago, which explains why Lloyd is this high on this list. The reason he isn't higher or in first place is because we really don't get to see more of what his golden powers could do, and we don't exactly see much. As Garmadon had said, he had only scratched the surface of what his powers could unlock, and that's why he is in second place. Of course you saw this coming. The first Spinjitzu Master is Ninjago's creator and is essentially like a god, and he has many powers too. Being born of both Oni and Dragon blood, he has presumably both Oni and Dragon powers too, but he also has golden power, and he was able to manifest the Golden Dragon. Although he was not able to defeat the Overlord the way Lloyd was, he has many other powers and abilities that are simply much more powerful than Lloyd's. For instance, he created an entire realm. He was also able to forge the golden weapons in the first place, and while Kai technically reforges them, he's the one who first did it, using the metal from the Golden Peaks. Created other artifacts like the Dragon Armor, the Realm Crystal, and the 2 Scrolls of Forbidden Spinjitzu. And yeah, this guy developed an entire martial art with different variations too. You have Spinjitzu and you have the more powerful Forbidden Spinjitzu too, both of which are really powerful. He escaped both the Oni and the dragon and was able to flee into Ninjago, but he also befriended the Firstbourne Dragon and they sought to end the war together. Even in death, he is shown to be very powerful too, as he was able to appear to Lloyd in a vision and talk to him in episode 98. He was also able to create the first life in Ninjago too, creating the first men and the Serpentine race as well. And seeing as he has Oni and Dragon blood in him, he has a lot of powers, and was able to create entire realms and life too, which puts him at first place. So that's going to wrap up this video. Some of you might be wondering why Wu didn't make this list, and to be honest, he's just not really shown to be that powerful in the show. He is the master of creation, and I do believe that there are a lot of elements and powers that he can use that he just simply hasn't used in the show yet. But I'm not speculating, and I'm just judging based on what we see in the show, so he did not make the cut. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share it with anyone ever you know, and let me know what your top 10 powerful characters would be. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.